Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prasayate. Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna 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 Chaitanya, Prabhu Jaya Shila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya 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 Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namaste. Gora Karuna Sunmaya Radha Krishna Prasnayate. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namaste. Gora Karuna Sunmaya
In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination of devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. Okay? So, years back, this is a real life true experience, because I have three kids, okay, who are my temporary sons. So one son, Gaur Haridas, he's handicapped, okay. So we wanted him to be functional in this lifetime. So when he was born, he can hardly walk, 3 years to be able to walk. He's so chubby, Then we have to make effort so he can walk. Then after a while, he can walk. So we thought, how can we assist him, okay? So he can take part in this path that has been given to us by our Gurudev. So we put up a school, okay? But all the kids are already graduated, and Gaur is still here, okay? So during the time, we went to this doctor. Supposedly somebody gave us an offer that, we'll make Gaur Haridas functionable, okay? So we went there. What happened was, Gaur's there, and then looking at them, and then because of their criteria of assessing a person is to be functionable, is to be able to be one with or be functionable in this materialistic society, okay? So they assess Gaur, okay, he's like kindergarten, But the main reason I wanted to discuss this is because of the importance of this human form. Okay? This human form. Rarely one is given a human form. And now you have human form, all of you. You're in this form, this human body, and then you have the intelligence. You can make decision, You can hear, you can understand, and if you follow the path of purification guided by Lord Krishna, then you can see. Not with these eyes, but with the eye of intelligence. And especially if the heart becomes purified and the mind becomes purified, okay? And you become free from all those material desires that are all there in the mind, okay? You don't follow the mind, okay? You can see with wisdom guided by Lord Krishna. And you can see the modes of material nature, how it affects you. So the whole point of we're discussing this is the human form of life, the opportunity that has been given to us So in the struggle for survival, we try to garner so many things. Land, wives, okay, children, wealth, okay? Because that's our security. But it's a struggle in futility because you're gonna leave everything behind. But that is the focus of what everybody is doing because the influence of the mode of passion, the mode of goodness, and the mode of ignorance. So you can see that there are forces that drives a person, influence a person through the mind, through what he perceived, the conditioning, okay? So the doctor is there. Seemingly, she's very sweet. She's motherly, and then she begins to tell us because if they put Gaur Haridas at the age of about 9 years old, they put him in this plating, okay? Why put all the building blocks so Gaur can be able to build whatever they wanted to build. So in front of Gaur Haridas, all these building blocks, man, what's this all about? You know what he did? He just threw everything away. What's this all about? Boxes like that. It's like Lego. You have to build. Okay? And then she gave us this advice. Okay, the advice is this. Actually, it's leaning towards euthanasia. Okay, euthanasia. Okay, she tells us, you should have your children, okay? Your children, because you have this son who have this, what they tell me, the 13th chromosome, that I don't know about that, medical. And because of that influence, he's in that physical situation. So she said to us, take this DNA test, me, okay? And Gaur. So we can check that if, for example, Shama Sundar Das, my youngest son, or my elder son, Murli Manohar Das, will marry, okay? Will marry and have children. And when the wife is pregnant, there's a child in the womb, with a test of the DNA, that the X chromosome, the 13, like that. And if the child possesses that chromosome, then when the wife gives birth, it will be like Gaur Haridas, the body of Gaur Haridas, handicapped, autistic. So she's implying that at the beginning of that, the embryo in the cell, in the fetus, okay, when the living entity there is growing, you can check if he's fit to live in this material world, okay? That when he comes out of this world, he's physically fit to face, the struggle for survival. Okay? It means Gaur Haridas is handicapped, he's not fit to live in this world. Because for them, sensual enjoyment, happiness is based upon sensual enjoyment. Okay? Then she's implying that what you should do at the beginning, if the child is handicapped, okay, the child comes out blind or feeble, because there are children who comes out, that like that. So handicap, you should exterminate in a way. Stop the growth of that body, take off the life. I said, wow, it's me. I picked that up because, wow, seemingly she's very caring, but the formula she's giving, it's euthanasia, man. What the Nazis are doing during the Second World War is just, if you're not fit to enjoy, okay, you're handicapped, then you'll be exterminated. You're a burden. And she's implying that it will be a burden to your son, to your daughter-in-law, that if a handicap comes out of her womb and becomes like Gaur Haridas, who is handicapped, who's useless, okay, to enjoy in the material world, then it will be a burden for them to take care of him. Just like it's a burden to take care of Gaur Haridas. Okay? Understand? This mentality of materialism, so I did not go back there, So the importance of having this human form of life, and if you have this wisdom, if you have wisdom of who you are, then you're able to appreciate that you can use this body to render service to God. And the process is very simple, especially in this age of Kali Yuga, the holy names, hearing the holy names. Okay. So, what happens in the struggle for survival when a person whose mind is uncontrolled, who follows the dictates of the mind influenced by the mode of passion, is so many branch because the material desires are there. So you cannot focus. And what happens is that even though you come in contact with this science, what will happen is you will be led in such a way that your focus will be trying to garner so many things that you'll be leaving behind. And you're not able to appreciate. A person thinks that to garner so many things that is transforming into different forms, and you cannot hold it in reality because it's transforming, moving into different forms and becoming different forms and then breaking down, you begin to try to that be your shelter. Okay? And in illusion, thinking that you keep on, okay, I have a bank account, you have about 10 million in the bank, you have land, you have business, and you think but never you'll come to the point thinking you're secured, okay? You want more, okay? So what happens is that we waste this human form of life, the time that has been given to us while we're in this human form of life, okay? Understand? So what happens is that you put so much investment in trying to find shelter in something, in matter, wherein it won't be the shelter. So you waste God's love, God's care for you, to be given the opportunity to use this human form of life to be connected with His wish and desire. So what happened is that instead of giving what belongs to God, especially if you're chanting, you understand this, you hear the truth that everything animate or inanimate that is within this universe is owned by God. Because you come here with nothing, everything is there. And the ones who's maintaining your body, our body, is God Himself. All His servants, who gives you air, that this body can breathe, who gives you the water, the light. It comes from Krsna through the servants. And if we are not understanding this science of our true identity, then we will be misdirected and try to find security in a world of illusion. Why illusion? Because it's a different energy from us, and it's an illusion because what we try to focus and garner is connected with trying to be secured in this body. And this body is made out of matter, which will break down, and we try to garner so many things to take shelter because of ignorance. And the more we have, we think we are secured. And in the process, we become empty-hearted, we become insecure, we become fearful, we experience this disconnection. That's why we are not able to offer to God what belongs to God. We're not happy, and we're not able to understand clearly that there is someone who maintains us, our physical body, us. And we're always given this opportunity, the time, that the body is connected with time. So instead of investing in trying so much to be secured in this world by God gathering so many material things that will be, and eventually will be broken down or taken away from us, and even the body that takes shelter, because a person who is ignorant takes shelter of these material things. He embraces it. In a way, he puts it in the bank. In his mind, he thinks he's secured. Okay? But the importance of this human form of life is to be situated with this connection with the wisdom of who we are eternally. And what will happen is that we begin to understand that there's someone who protects us, who cares for us, who gives everything we need. But the problem is we're looking in the wrong direction. And what is that wrong direction? It is ignorance of our relationship with the self-sufficient, the Lord of Love, Govinda. And then what happened? We become to experience this, greed. We become miser, And the end result is suffering. Okay? Because at the time when what is inevitable will come. So in our struggle to try to garner so many things for security, we're not able to offer back to the Supreme Person what belongs to Him that will please Him. Because we're thinking, we chant, we engage in the service of supposedly follow the process with a different intent. Okay? We're not able to give back what belongs to God. Okay? So the importance of human form of life is that we can make decision with the wisdom that we have learned and understood, not just believe. It's not I believe, no. With clarity of what's happening. Because the wisdom that comes from God is able to purify and eradicate this ignorance. It gives light to what is real and absolute of our true identity, which is based upon understanding that there's two different energies here. Me, who is covered by this body, and the other is this material body, made out of material elements, made out of earth, gross, or chemicals, gross matter, water, the air. This body is like a machine, I use. So if we're not able to appreciate this wisdom, then we cannot solve the problems we face. A disconnection with the source of real happiness. And what is that happiness? That we are eternally dependent upon the Supreme Person. With everything, material or spiritual. And it's based upon His pleasure. That if we connect ourselves to His guidance, through the mercy and guidance of His loving servant, to please Him, then we will experience this devotional attitude to always be remembering and offering our life to the Supreme Person. So I'll tell you one story in Srimad Bhagavatam. Maharaj Pariksit is an emperor. One day, he was into the forest hunting. So he felt thirsty. And so Maharaj Pariksit, being an emperor, went to this hut. And in that hut, there's a Brahmana there who's meditating, okay? And when he entered, the Brahmana being in meditation, okay, in a way did not notice him because he's in meditation. And Maharaj Pariksit, when he entered that hut, nobody, okay, made effort, okay, to appease or give what he's looking for to quench his thirst. So what happened? He saw this dead snake and put that as a garland on the head of the Brahmana. The problem is that when the son of the Brahmana, who is also a Brahmana, came and saw somebody, who is like an insult, putting a garland of snake, on his father. He got angry, being a child. Who did this to my father? And then he said, whoever put this garland of dead snake on my father will die in 7 days. Okay? During the time, Brahmanas are very powerful. If they curse you, then you have a problem. Okay? So, Maharaj Pariksit can nullify that curse because with his, advisor and everything there, everybody there who can assist him. But he did not do that. So he approached his advisor, who are saintly person, and they asked, what should I do? And they advised him to listen to Sukadev Goswami, okay, the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, who's the disciple of Narada Muni. Okay. So he approached Sukadev Goswami, and then he knows in 7 days he will be leaving the body. So all of us here, we have no contract when we'll leave, you know. You can be hit by a car, or you can be, in a way, be handicapped by meeting an accident, you know. You have no guarantee, you know. Okay? And then if we don't use this body as an opportunity to be situated in a world of a transcendental, okay, meaning not touched by this world, a world that is not touched by material suffering. And what is that world all about? Is the world of the joy of the Supreme Person, who's enjoying with his different devotees, and who comes here to invite us to be with him. Okay. So the spiritual master is the able person who can guide us because he has no material consideration. That's one qualification of a bona fide spiritual master. So he listened to Sukadev Goswami for 7 days and 7 nights, and not experiencing hunger, thirst, or anything. He just focused, you know. And then after 7 days, he said, "Let death come in," and the snake of death, to fulfill the curse. You know, the father, the Brahmana, when he saw his child crying, he felt sad because the child cursed the king. Okay. But because he's a child, you know, it's natural for the child to really get angry when someone he loves, you know, you try to do something weird, okay? Just putting a garland, a dead snake, you know, on his father. It's a garland. So what happened? You can now appreciate the importance of this human form of life. This human form of life is an opportunity to listen to the eternal pastimes of the Supreme Person and to receive God's mercy, the holy names, and the wisdom given to us by Lord Krsna. In that way, our activities will be guided by God Himself. So that's the whole point. To do the will and to experience the pleasure of God. So now, we won't be experiencing what all of us are really experiencing every day. So when Arjuna was asked by Lord Krsna, what is it that propels a person as if by force he cannot resist to do something, you know, that is not beneficial to himself? Okay. And Lord Krsna tells Arjuna, it is only lust, Arjuna, born out of wrath, anger, that destroy one's intelligence. So, when we chant the holy names, we begin to appreciate, yes, I'm the person in this body, I can watch my mind, I can see my intelligence, and then I can make this decision to be able to be doing what is pleasing to God, to be in harmony with my true transcendental nature as eternally the loving servant of Krsna, and experience this happiness of being protected by my Father, by my friend, the Supreme Person. So back to the point, the human form of life is very important. A person may be handicapped, but okay, you may be in coma, you have a child who may, okay, a sister, a brother, okay, who may be in coma, but it doesn't mean he's useless, that the body cannot anymore be functionable to enjoy sense enjoyment. Then he's a goner, okay? You know what's a goner? It's like a dead person already, even though he's still alive in the body because he cannot enjoy sensual enjoyment. No. A person can be hearing the holy names. A person can be experiencing the prasadam, okay, and experiencing an environment of the chanting of the holy names, and be experiencing what we are trying to fulfill with our life, and experience also what Maharaj Pariksit experienced, because Maharaj Pariksit's focus is simply a one-pointed, undeviated hearing the glories of the Supreme Person, which enlivens the heart. It gives him happiness. And the more he hears, the more he inquires. He enters that door of what is eternal. So when you chant the holy name, when we chant, we're given that opportunity to enter that door, because that door is open, and Lord Krishna opens the door by coming down and entering our ears so we can see with clarity. So now it's up to us to make this decision to become free from greed, envy, and be free from false ego. And what is false ego all about? It is about our dominion, our control, mine, I, me, mine. Yeah, I, me, mine. So what happens if you're influenced by the modes and we are not able to experience this teaching of Lord Krishna, this advice? I, me, mine. So there's a song, I, even in tears, I, me, mine. Okay? In suffering, I, me, mine. Okay? So because your meditation is based upon this miserable world. So what then is spiritual advancement? What then is the benefit of chanting the holy names? You experience yourself as a witness, and you're not able to be, you won't glide to pacify the suffering, that the anxiety in the mind, the desire, because the direction now is understanding your relationship with the Supreme Person. And when the modes of material nature gives you impetus with all the material desire, you're not interested. So it will be like there will always be this sort of a rebellion by the mind, and then because you've been identifying with the subtle energy for so long, trying to experience this, either the experience of comfort there, either in the mode of goodness, ignorance, or passion, you're not there anymore. Because now you can see yourself, you can understand your love, your heart, and then you connect it with someone you really should be connected with. The mercy, the grace of the Supreme Person, and especially the guidance of someone who really cares for us. And that person is the pure loving servant of God, the spiritual master. So that becomes your world. That becomes your protection. So wherever you are in this world, you have now a foundation, a basis to make right and correct decision. If it's not pleasing to God, I will not be closer to Him, I will not do it. Okay? Anything, even to the point of leaving everything behind. So there's a saying in the Christian teaching, what does a man profit if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? His soul means his loved one. Not, you don't lose the soul, but rather the spirit soul and the supreme soul. Okay? You're able to negate. It's not important. Okay? Just like, I'll give you one example. When a mother, like a lot of you here, you have children, or some of you are pregnant, okay? For example, your child, he goes there and there's this creek, and he falls in the creek. So the mother will dive in the creek without, even she cannot swim. She just dive there and try to save the child. Understand? So are we in that situation? So we pray to Lord Krishna that our faith, our understanding, we pray for protection, that we become faithful, we come to that point of rendering, just serving and loving Him. Service as the end itself. In the material world, even though we chant when we're contaminated by material conditioning, we do something not as the end itself, with a means to get something, either in the mode of goodness, in the mode of passion, because we have been conditioned that even though we come in contact with the spiritual master, when we chant, we just want to experience, wow, the bliss. You try to squeeze, try to emote, you conjure, Krishna, Krishna, You don't need to do that. Just like if your hands are dirty, you need a cleansing agent, water. Okay? You come in contact with the holy names. then what happens is that you become purified. You come in contact with the source of happiness, then you experience happiness. Just like if you come in contact with light, darkness is not there. Okay? So now the person, you, me, can see. Okay? If I do something, will it be, what will make my affection, my surrender, my closeness with the person I'm loving very close? So you have now a foundation. If it's not pleasing to God, to my spiritual master, you won't do it. Even to the point of leaving everything behind. Okay? But to be able to understand that, it's not an ascending method. Okay? You've been given this human form. You're put in an environment like this. An environment of hearing, chanting, remembering, the process of devotional service. The more you chant, the more you engage in the process of practice of devotional service, then you begin to appreciate how you have been cared and loved. Okay? And then you feel weird. Wow, I'm so stupid, I'm so hard-hearted that Krishna is making an effort for me, so I can be close with him. So now, that's why the process is given to us. It said, in the mind of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute, one-pointed, very fixed, determination of devotional service to the Supreme Person, the Lord, does not take place. So in this way, we can gauge if our love, because love is inseparable from you. Okay? Affection, is it based upon now with being very close with the Supreme Person by doing His will? So we make effort that there's nothing in between with our relationship with our spiritual master in Krishna. But because of our conditioning in this world, we're contaminated so much of insecurity, and the maya or illusion or the mode of passion will be there bombarding us with so many, why not this, why not that? And then you look at everyone. And then if you're not really making progress, you begin to experience a different experience, because in the process we are engaging in, it's like you're giving everything. And then you feel, oh wow, what am I doing? It's so hard practicing, engaging in devotional service. Kawawa naman ako. So you feel self-pity. Okay? But a devotee who's making progress, when there's struggle so much, he takes shelter of Lord Krishna. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this for someone I love, for Krishna. So that's what Arjuna did when he approached Lord Krishna. And the conclusion, after listening to Lord Krishna, he made this decision, I will fight. So now the question with us is, will I engage in my true eternal position and function as eternally the loving servant of God? Or I will be diverted by what's in my mind, the material desires, with the promise of the fruits of happiness. Okay? That's why you notice, for example, in this material world, okay, material conditioning, you have someone, you get a person gets attracted to a female form, and then they marry, and then because it's not based upon wisdom and love, so they separate. They divorce. And then what happened is that the mind tells you, maybe the second time will be sweeter, not unlike the first time when you thought that this person is really sweet, but what happened was she's a bitch, And the wife also, she's thinking, wow, she's knight in a gallant armor, who will protect me? What happened is that because she's so passionate and she tries to project himself as the dominator, and you, the person, as to be the dominator, thinking that you can give happiness to him with the hardware you have. What's the hardware you have? The skin, the beauty, the external beauty. Look what I've got, okay? But because you're not self-sufficient, she's not self-sufficient, then she begins to beat you, man, to pulp, battered wife. Then you separate. But when you separate, you look again for someone to love, Maybe the second time, and it happens again. The second time. Since you're eternal, you have been having so many relations since time immemorial. So when Maharaj Pariksit was given this cue, you have to live in 7 days. He left his kingdom, the beautiful queens, everything, the wealth, the army, everything. He just took his loincloth and listened to Sukadev Goswami. So all the load was taken away by the curse of the Brahmana child, that you will die in 7 days. Meaning all your struggle, all your life, wherein the burden you're carrying will be taken away. But will it be our conclusion? Okay? For example, the doctor tells you, you have cancer. You have 7 days to live. Okay? What will you feel? Wow, I need to survive. Okay? You're not understanding that, wow, I see disease as an enemy, okay, cancer. But if you're appreciating, okay, this body will deteriorate in 7 days. I need to make effort to use this body to be close with God. Okay? It's not anymore, wow, okay, withdraw all the money, the bank, okay? Sell everything so I can survive. So they have this song, What's the song they sing? We will all survive. Okay. Yeah, you'll survive because your spirit soul, eternal. But the question is, what environment will you be trying to model in, okay? Will it be the muck, the mud, okay? So, the teachings of the spiritual master is very grave, because now you begin to appreciate that this body that you have, you're just temporary here, and time moves so fast. So what will happen? You begin to appreciate, yes, I've been loved so much, I've been put in an environment of a spiritual environment of hearing, chanting, and practicing devotional service, and hearing this wisdom. I should embrace it, and that will be my protection. But if you will not take it, then it's a great loss for you. Then you, in the scripture, there's 8,400,000 species of life, meaning from the demigods up to the insignificant maggots, and whatever that. Then Lord Krishna tells us the activities you do will have a great impact upon your mind, upon your focus. So, meaning, whatever state of consciousness you have at the time you're living, that state you will attain. So, in this material world, we're given by Lord Krishna the opportunity to play Lord. The difference is when we are with Lord Krishna and guided by Lord Krishna, He's the driver. So meaning, we're under His transcendental protection. But when we are in illusion of Lordship, we're responsible now for our action, the karma, good and bad. So be very careful when you play Lord. Before coming, supposedly, unfortunately, if you read closely, the pastimes of Lord Krishna, they're all protected. They're not touched by karma, okay? Karma means good or bad, okay? The experience of what we did in this material world, either sinful or not sinful, pious or impious. So now, you're responsible for whatever happens to you when you are alone. All alone to bear the burden of your action. So, you check carefully. So, it means, what is my attachment? Meaning, where my love lies, where my focus lies. Okay? So, it's not anymore a word wherein you see clearly that, yes, it's not anymore the faith or what I'm brought up as a Catholic, a Christian, whatsoever. It's now about my eternal, true identity as eternally the loving servant of God. And I'm in this environment now, this material world, and I can see clearly that, yes, this body that I have can be a vehicle to render service to the Supreme Person who owns this body. And the outlook now is everything that I have belongs to the person who loves me, Krishna. Okay? So, the more we learn this science, the more we begin to appreciate how much we have been loved. Is it clear? Is it understandable sa inyo? So, the importance of human life, this human body. Human life the soul, and to be in this body, having this body is very important if we understand this wisdom. And what is this wisdom? We are not the body, we're eternal, and we are not the mind, the intelligence, the subtle or the gross. And then we can see now our situation. We're drowning in this ocean of material misery because of our endeavor to find security in our false struggle for survival in the material dimension. It's already there, It's already laid down. Okay? That's why an intelligent person, if the mother tells you, like this child, our national hero, when he was a child, the mother tells him, 3 years old, because the mother was the first teacher, okay, told his son, my dear son, Jose, no agarra el fuego, don't touch the fire, okay, because you'll get hurt, you'll burn. You see the moth that entered the fire. So now the choice is yours. Either you take the responsibility to please God, or you take the responsibility on your own to struggle for survival, which will be a failure and a futility into oblivion. So Haribol, Namaste.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestaya.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestaya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya. Haribol, Tagore.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya.
Pandit Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Bhakta Vrinda.
Om Bhagavan Madana Mohana, Jaya Murti,
Hare Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Gauranga,
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Madana, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Madana,
Jaya Jaya Shri Prabhupada,
Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Gurudev,
Hare Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Shri Prabhupada,
Hare Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Gurudev,
Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev,
Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda,
Krishna,
Ananda Paramahamsa,
Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda,
Krishna,
Ananda Paramahamsa,
Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda, Ananda Paramahamsa, Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda, Ananda Paramahamsa.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namadehi, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestaya Te.